Greetings everyone and welcome. In this video, we're going to see how we can use one Pinia store inside another Pinia store. So let's assume, for example, we have two Pinia stores here. For example, I have one Pinia store and I'm calling this Pinia store user list store, as you can see. And then I have another store here that I'm calling a user use UI store here. So just by the name definition here, as you can see, this UI store is responsible for notifications. It's going to notify the user whenever some data changes or some UI elements changes. And one way it's going to achieve that is by using the snack bar here. As you can see here in the state, I have a snack bar here, and then I have a function here that updates the properties of this snack bar here. So the problem is that when I am inside the user list store here, I need a way to reach out to the UI store and change some data so that the snack bar can be shown to the user. So for instance, now if I try to reload this page, as you can see here, we have a list of users. What I'm going to do, I want when I add a new user to print a snack bar on the page here to show whether the user was ordered successfully or it was a failure. So I'm going to try to add some dummy data here, and I'm going to just select some data here and try to add that to the database. As you can see here, the user is successfully ordered to the database, but we didn't see any notification telling the user that the user that he tried to add to the database was a success. All right, so and that's the purpose of today's video. We want to be able to reach the UI store when we are inside the user list store here. All right, and to do that is actually quite simple. One thing though that we need to do, or that we need to make sure we have, is to have this store as an options store. Not options, it's a composition store instead of options store. Right, so that we can be able to just have this store instance here just the same way we would have that on a composition component itself. Right, so just make sure you have a composition store instead of options store. And then after that, the other thing we need to do is just to bring in the store that we need to use inside this store like this. And then we just going ahead and defining the instance of the store that we bring in. And that's actually what we need to do. Then the only other thing that we need to do now is to reach out to the functions or to the state of the other store whenever the data changes. So for example, here we want to reach to the UI store whenever we store a new user to the database. All right, so and the way to do that is just to go directly and get the function that we need to reach to from the other store like that, and then pass the data that we need to pass to that function here. So as you can see here, this function, what it does, it just receives some arguments here, the status, message, color, and location, and all these defaulted to the ones that are already defined initially in this snack bar object here. All right, so actually that's all what we need to do, and this is in case of success. And in case of failure, then we're going again to just reach out to that store, but we're going to send some slightly different data this time around when we have a failure here. All right, so we're going to send the message that it's coming as a failure from the solver, and then we're going to pass here error instead of success color. All right, and that's all actually we need to do. So let's just go ahead and try to reload the page and try to add now a user and see if we are now going to get a notification bar from the page. So here again, I'm going to just have some dummy data like that. I'm going to fill in this form, and then I'm going to try to submit the user. And as you can see now, we have a new user created successfully, snack bar on our right corner of the screen. All right, and that's actually what we wanted to do. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to update the APIs that it's going to fail when we are adding a new user. So I'm just going to update that, and then I'm just going to optimize this so that it takes the new routes that I updated, and then I'll try to send the data again. So I'll try to send some other dummy data here like that, and then I'm just going to fill the form here, and then I'm going to send that data, and as you can see, we again have an error snack bar here telling us the status code 404, meaning that the route that we intended to use was not found. All right, and actually that's all what we wanted to learn today. Thank you very much for joining me on this one. I'll see you in the next one.